All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Wallace Way. This is a primetime edition, and we are blessed enough to have this good brother, Manny C, who I like to call a DC Sports Savant. Brother knows everything about the Washington football team, the Wizards, the Nationals, the DC United, the Arena Football League. The brother knows it all. The brother loves it. So we're gonna get right into it because it's funny because our show actually we were scheduled to go on 8 o'clock, and then we both on Twitter chilling, and
Mhm.
we see a Woj bomb, boom. Russell Westbrook was traded to the Washington Wizards for John Wall in the first round pick. And that's major. Like in this
Right.
area, that is major. John Wall is definitely our biggest star we've had probably since Gilbert Arenas, and
Yep.
he's more tied to the community than Gilbert. So
Exactly.
he's massive. He's our biggest star. You know,
Right.
this would be akin to like the Cavaliers trading Kyrie or something like that. Like
Right. Or
this is really,
LeBron. I
or
mean,
LeBron. Yeah, this is
yeah.
really big. So first, I want to get into an intro, introduce the brother, and let you know, find out how you got started and all that. Then we can jump into the John Wall trade. Then we can talk a little bit of Washington football team. So tell me how you got started.
All right, man. So I actually have two podcasts. The first podcast is Talking Sports with Manny, and that one entails fantasy football, NBA, NFL. Matter of fact, I'll be posting something about John Wall on that podcast probably tonight, man. This is crazy. And then my second podcast is the Back Row Redskins Show. I never knew or even thought I'd be doing a Redskins podcast, but I mean, I get to do it. I'm having fun with it, and I started both podcasts during the pandemic, during this lockdown. So both podcasts are doing well, and that's just pretty much kind of how I got started.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, no doubt, man. That's how I found you. You putting out that premium fire content, man. We loving it. We loving it. All right, let's jump right into it. The John Wall trade. It's clear you're a John Wall fan with the gear and all that.
Yeah, man. You see one back here, and you see one right here, man.
I see. I mean, it hit us. We was both like, what?
Yeah.
So give me your thoughts on it. Give me your initial thoughts on it.
So initially, there were some rumors saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, Houston is going to trade Russell Westbrook for John Wall." And initially, when you hear these rumors, man, there's always truth to these
Okay.
rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Always, even when the trade does not go down. So Tommy Shepard comes out and says, "Oh, I never wanted to trade John Wall. It was never." There was like never talks, because Tommy Shepard said that the team is now Bradley Beal's team. They're going to build around Bradley Beal. And when he said that, John Wall took offense to it. And then, initially, John Wall was saying, I wanted to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then he shut it down saying, hey, John Wall will not be traded, blah, blah. That's what the GMs are supposed to say, because obviously somebody leaked this, somebody leaked this information. So when the
Right. Right.
information is leaked, it kind of lessens that player's trade value. That's why when
Sure.
you talk, you just shut your mouth and just talk between GM to GM, and then if a deal gets done, a deal gets done. If you
Right.
notice, the
Right.
Lakers, also a huge Laker fan, Kobe fan, when they trade, Pelinka doesn't say anything to
Nah.
anybody. You just see a trade being done. Like when Dennis Schroeder got traded, it was like, wow. So with this being, so my whole initial thought was, okay, all I wanted to see was John Wall
Mm-hmm.
on a fast break, Bertans to your left, Bill to your right.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to see, at least one game, because I felt that that trio could have been something special. That trio could have been something that John Wall has never had. Yes, he's had Otto Porter. Yes, he's had Trevor Ariza and shooters like that, but he's never had a shooter like Bertans. Bertans is
Sure. Sure.
special.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I felt that Bertans was one of the best catch and shoot players in the NBA last season, second to Klay Thompson. That's how high of a regard that I hold Davis Bertans. So all I wanted to see was I wanted to see how John Wall operates with space. When you have shooting like Bill and Bertans, that's a lot of space for John Wall to operate in. You know what I'm saying? So now you're losing that. You're gaining Westbrook, who's a phenomenal player. Let's not talk like Westbrook is not a beast. Westbrook is a beast, and I felt, okay, with this deal being final, Westbrook is a player that the Wizards need. You
Mm.
know, regardless of how you feel about John Wall, he hasn't been healthy for 2 years. The last time he played a game was like December 2018. Two
Mm-hmm.
years.
Yeah.
So now you're getting Westbrook who was 2 or 3 years removed from the MVP of the league.
Exactly.
The guy has averaged a triple-double 3 seasons in a row.
Now,
I understand. I understand he takes bad shots. I understand that he's not a great shooter, but what he is, he's a competitor.
He's a competitor. He gonna give it all he got, and he gonna play. He gonna play it out. And
He's good.
he has his faults. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
I think the Twitter NBA Twitterverse has kind of slandered him too much. They've gone to the analytics side of it, and he's got faults. There's no doubt about it. But
including me. I mean, I've said some things about him, but the thing
you gotta erase those old tweets now because he's
right.
He's
I know. But the thing is, if he continues, when the game's on the line, right, you got to know who's hot, and that's one thing that Westbrook has never realized. When he had Kevin Durant, when he had what's his name, James Harden, there were times when he'll take that shot and he was not supposed to. If you're a point guard, you're supposed to create for others, right? There's been times when he's not been able to do that. Yes, he's going to rebound. Yes, he's going to start the fast break. He's going to go full speed. He's going to find people. He averages 10 assists, but it's about how he does it. See, Westbrook is all about playing his way. And we'll see if Bradley Beal and Westbrook can coexist.
I agree. Now, a quick question from someone typed in the chat. Why did they add the first round draft pick, though?
Here is why. When you're trading for John Wall, there's still a huge risk. Yes, he's coming back, right? He's coming back. He's supposed to be healthy.
Right.
But we can't trust your body.
Hell no.
He's going to be on load management. He's going to be like on that Todd Gurley management. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Todd Gurley got 2 bad knees. John Wall got, I don't know how many ankles, ligaments, ACL. I don't know. It's just from the waist down, it's some things that's going on. With John Wall. So it's like, look, we're giving you a healthy Westbrook. He's still a beast. He's still an all-star caliber guy. Westbrook is still a superstar caliber player. But let's go ahead and get John Wall from you and give us a first-round pick. That way, if it doesn't work out, I feel that Houston can still move him. There's still a scenario where Houston moves John Wall, but they're bringing him in to kind of see what happens.
Sure.
He's still a star. There's potential that John Wall and Harden might work well together.
And Boogie. Don't forget they got
Boogie.
Now,
Boogie.
It's a limited Boogie, and we can't really depend on his health either because he's missed like the last 4 seasons, right? So, but if he can give you 20 to 25 solid minutes, that's not a bad trio. It's not a terrible trio,
Right. But let me say this. I have seen John Wall take some of the some of the trash centers, respectfully speaking. Marcin Gortat, no knock on him.
The
Somebody
Polish
just
hammer.
The Polish hammer. Somebody just messaged me now and said emergency pod. And I already know what they want to talk about. So after I get off on this one, I'm probably hopping on another one. And then,
bruh, it's a busy night for you.
It's
like
a busy
Dan
night.
Rather.
It's a busy night. So here's what's going on. John Wall took the Polish hammer and made him a 14-10 guy.
Okay.
Even with a 50% Boogie, he can make Boogie a 20-7 guy. There's no doubt in my mind that if John Wall is fully healthy with a DeMarcus Cousins, you're looking at a 18 to 20 point Boogie Cousins.
Well, shit, you'll take that, right?
Yeah,
you'll take that all day.
Exactly. And if Houston can move James Harden, which is not wise, but if they can, let's say you trade James Harden and you bring in, let's say like a Karis LeVert type, let's just say the Nets, right? In order for a Nets deal to go down, you'll need Karis LeVert, right? You'll need Spencer Dinwiddie. You will need possibly another piece because the contracts have to match.
Maybe like Jared Allen, maybe.
Yeah, Jared Allen is going to be in a deal. That's still 3 guys that the money still don't match. So then now you need a contract filler. Let's say one of the guys on the team is making like 15 million or something or 10 million, and you add 2 more pieces and 2 or 3 first-round picks. It's going to take that much. It's going to take 3 first-round picks, Jared Allen, LeVert, Dinwiddie, and maybe a couple of guys to fill the contracts, right?
To get Harden.
Right. So then you get guys like that added to John Wall and Boogie. Now you're building something new. You got LeVert, who's an up-and-coming star. You got Spencer Dinwiddie, who's an insurance policy for Kyrie Irving, now an insurance policy for John Wall. So you can possibly see something similar. I'm just using that as an example to where Harden says, you know what, this is not working for me, or maybe they find a deal that works for them, but it's going to be a deal kind of like this. Now you're building a whole new team. You got Jared Allen, you got Cousins, you still got Eric Gordon, still a nice shooter, still a nice, a floor spacer, and then you can kind of just see what you have for the Rockets. But I believe that Harden starts off the year on the Rockets, but he might not end the season on the Rockets, especially if things go south.
That's fair. So let me ask you this though. What do you think like the synergy is going to be between James Harden and John Wall at Houston strip clubs? Like, how's that going to go? How's that going to go?
That's going to be very interesting, and don't be surprised if Lou Williams joins them in Houston. Lou Williams is he is on that trade block, and you can possibly see a deal where Eric Gordon goes to the Clippers, and then Lou Williams comes to the Rockets, and then all three of these guys can go to the strip club and do what they do. Lemon pepper wings all the way around, and hey, anything is possible.
Anything is possible. That's the thing about the NBA. Like, it's. I'll be honest. I don't really watch a full game anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel you.
A lot of Twitter, a lot of House of Highlights. I'm just not going to sit down and watch a full 2-hour Milwaukee Bucks versus the Memphis Grizzlies. It's not going to happen.
I feel you.
But they do a great job in this form with like the Twitter and the quick responses and the IG. They do great jobs with that.
Right.
I'm looking forward to the NBA season this year.
Yep.
I got a NBA futures betting pod coming on in a couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to it. So, let's transition. We'll get off the Wizards real quick. And let's transition to the team that has a legitimate chance to make the playoffs this year, our Washington football team.
Okay. Okay.
I like to call myself a Washington football team hostage. Okay. Because I've been a fan since literally me and my dad stayed home and watched Doug Williams win the Super Bowl in 1988.
Nice.
And been a huge fan. Fifth grade when we won the championship, it was love, right?
Right.
And since then, and that was fifth grade, and I'm 39, so that's a long time ago. We've been terrible.
Right.
There's been blips, but we've been terrible. We've been terrible overall, right? So
right.
I'm looking at this year, and I'm actually seeing some long-term hope in a way.
Okay.
I wasn't a huge Rivera fan, and I'm still not. I think he's a great guy, though. I really do. I would love him as team president, maybe not as head coach. But give me your take on which so far this season. What are you seeing? What are you thinking? Like,
I'm about to sell you on Rivera in a minute.
Okay.
I'm a salesperson, so I'm about to sell you on Ron Rivera.
Here we go.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you look at Ron Rivera's track record with the Panthers, right?
Okay.
He took that team to a Super Bowl. And I get it. A lot of it was Cam Newton, but it took a Ron Rivera to get Cam Newton to believe in the system, to believe in what they were doing. Because think about it. For years, he didn't draft Cam Newton a wide receiver. He didn't sign Cam Newton a wide receiver. Ron Rivera does things his way, and you just got to trust it. If you would have told me that Cam Newton would have taken that roster to a 15-1 record in the Super Bowl, I would have laughed. I would have laughed at you. But that's the magic that Ron Rivera has. Ron Rivera is a great finder of talent. He's working well with Kyle Smith, and those two work well together. So there's still a scenario where there might not be a GM. So really, Ron Rivera is running the show right now.
Okay.
He's running the show. So when I let's just look at free agency. Ron Rivera said there are no big fish guys in this free agency. And he went after Amari Cooper. He failed. He offered more money than Dallas, but he failed. I mean, obviously, I'd rather pick Dak Prescott than pick Dwayne Haskins, just being real, as a wide receiver. So, he chose Dallas. He was already familiar. He's built some kind of culture, some kind of friendship and brotherhood. So Amari Cooper stayed with Dallas.
Okay.
So then he was a guy that was willing to overspend for the right guy.
Okay. So
I heard rumors that we also went after Austin Hooper. So when I look at that, usually in DC we spend and it doesn't work. Look at Paul Richardson. Trash. God. You know
He
what I'm
was
saying?
terrible. Look at
Terrible.
we're
And then,
Adam Archuleta,
yeah.
Albert Hainsworth.
And even Landon Collins right now is questionable. It's kind of like half and half. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was excited when we got him. Oh, yes, we got Landon Collins because we've been trash for so long. I've been a fan since 99. That was the Stephen Davis year, Brad Johnson playoffs. I believe that we had a legit chance to go to the Super Bowl. And we don't do it. We don't do it. We don't. We lost to, I believe it was Tampa Bay, 14-13. I'll never forget that. And, but anyways, so ever since then, it's been bad. Deion Sanders, Albert Hainsworth, like you said, I mean, free agency after free agency after free agency, and then we lack drafting a quarterback. We lack preparing and grooming a quarterback. Yeah. And I believe that when Ron Rivera was there, he was there in that Cam Newton draft, right? He drafted Cam Newton, right? So obviously he saw something. And if you look at Ron Rivera, he likes big receivers. When he was getting guys like, go ahead.
Well, I mean, shit. I mean, Cam Newton was high. Like he's a no-brainer. He's what you call just a. He's one of the rare players that actually lived up to the hype. And,
right.
And from college to Florida, he just lived up to the hype.
Okay. Okay. I'll give you that one.
The thing about Rivera, I usually lean towards hiring offensive head coaches, unless you're like Bill Belichick, who is in another world. But I just think defensive coaches don't see the game the same way as an offensive coach.
But that's why he brought in Scott Turner, who I don't like.
Okay, thank you. And it's not that I'm not gonna say I don't like him, but
I'm starting to like him.
His daddy ruined it for us when he was in DC.
Right. I remember those North Turner days. I remember those North Turner days, man.
Yeah.
But the thing, we should have kept Kevin O'Connell.
Sure.
That was a no-brainer.
Sure.
So he's coming into a situation where he has to clean up a lot of mess. So already we were lucky to get Terry McLaurin. He was not supposed to be this. This was not the guy we drafted. He became this. We drafted him for special teams because John Gruden said he's a good special teams player. And remember, Kelvin Harmon was supposed to be better. He was supposed to be that steal that we got, in the 6th round, which he still can be something. But
what about Josh Doxson?
Josh Doxson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So drafting a receiver in the 1st round scares me. But there were 2 receivers that I wanted that year, and it was DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. But I am totally happy with Terry McLaurin. He ended up being he's better than both. He's better than both, and it's not even close, in my opinion.
Well, DK is a little different. Physically, he's in another world. He's bully ball.
But he bully balls.
He doesn't bully balls.
Exactly. Terry McLaurin has that 4.3 speed, elite speed.
Separation.
He's the best route runner in this entire draft. Yeah. And he has the best hands. The guy does not drop passes. So when you put it all together, yes, he's not as physical. He's not as big. DK Metcalf is like the guy, he's physical. He's big. He has potential to be Megatron. But you have Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson helped to create DK Metcalf. If DK Metcalf was so great, why was he passed up? I mean, he was passed up.
No, he was passed up. He when did he go? 3rd round, right?
3rd round, almost 4th.
Yeah.
It was almost 4th round, but I'm saying
he's making some people pay like the Eagles.
Yes, making the Eagles pay, and I'm enjoying that. DK Metcalf is phenomenal. I mean, I love him. He's a great player, and I mean, I wanted him in DC. Yeah. But it's working out for him, and all I'm saying is I'm happy with Terry. He is the real deal. We've not had a receiver this good since 1 year of Westbrook. For me, I mean, you've been a fan longer. Yeah. Michael Westbrook. Okay, well, sorry, Santana Moss. I am sorry. Yes, Santana Moss. Yeah. And we've had a few here and there, but after Santana Moss, it's really like, where do you go from there? But back to Ron Rivera real quick.
Okay.
He is a great leader.
Yes.
He knows how to use what he has. I'm sorry. If Jay Gruden had this team that we have now, we're going 0-16.
Yeah. No, Jay Gruden is
he's a good offensive mind.
He's a good offensive coordinator. 1,000. And there's a big gap between being an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and being a head coach. It's a different skill set. Someone like Matt Patricia is a solid defensive coordinator. He's a terrible head coach.
Mm-hmm.
there's a different skill set, and not a lot of people can make that transition.
I feel you,
I
but
I really like Rivera though. I like the
mm-hmm.
guy Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
I just think his style is in today's NFL. I don't know how long term that style is going to work. I would love him as team president. I would really mind him going to team president
Mm-hmm.
and us getting an offensive mind, because I just
Mm-hmm.
think in today's NFL, I'd rather have an offensive guy with a nice D coordinator, almost like a Kyle Shanahan and
Mm-hmm.
the ball cat from
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco. Like, they have a good synergy going right now.
Right.
Kyle is an offensive genius. Well, I shouldn't say genius, but he's an offensive. He's good.
Nah,
He's
I
a
mean,
very good
I feel
offensive.
you.
So I mean, so let's think about a couple things this season so far. I want to touch on.
Okay.
What's your overall? Give me a small tidbit of what you think about the Dan Snyder era. He brought the team in what, 1999? No, 1996.
When I came in, when
Yeah,
I
99.
joined, he joined. We both joined at the same time. And it has not been a good partnership between me and Daniel Snyder, because he doesn't listen to me. I call him and give him ideas on what we should do. He doesn't
He's
do it.
hard-headed, huh?
He's hard-headed. But he has let Ron Rivera run the show 100%. And I think that's why I like Ron Rivera so much. This is the first time that somebody has full control, and it's not Snyder. The last time Snyder had control was drafting Dwayne Haskins.
Okay.
The rest of the way is Ron Rivera. Don't be surprised if we draft a quarterback next year, but I won't be surprised if we don't. Because okay, it's like this. If we draft a quarterback, I want Zach Wilson from BYU. That's who I want. Right. But if we don't, it's okay, because like we talked about Kyle Pitts. If we are a top 15 in the draft, because when we make the playoffs, we're going to take a hit. We are going to take a hit. But I'm not sure if it's by record or if it's by those who don't make the playoffs get to pick first, and then those who make the playoffs get to pick next. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if it's solely on record, it's the best of both worlds, because our record is going to be 6 or 7 wins gets it done, and we'll still be in the top 15 if it's by records.
Well, the thing about, if we win the division too, that means next year we have a first place schedule. And you know what? Speaking of the quarterback situation, the Alex Smith thing. We really like Alex Smith. He's a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy.
I'm not an Alex Smith guy. I am not an Alex Smith guy.
This team has some really nice guys, and I respect that. Like, that's got to be part of, like, you know, back in the Redskins heyday, they had some really good guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be the quarterback next year, and I think
that's the way it's trending.
Yeah,
that's the way it's trending.
His ceiling is only but 6 to 7 wins.
Right.
You know, he doesn't have no 12-win season.
I disagree. This is why.
Okay.
Even old man one-leg Alex Smith, this is why. If you give Alex Smith a solid offensive line, let's say that we go after Penei Sewell. Let's say somehow we don't make the playoffs and we get Penei Sewell from that's the left tackle from Oregon. Okay. Beast.
See that's why we call on him, because Manny C is the savant. He knowing people I have no idea who they are. None.
So when you check out Penei Sewell, the guy is another second coming of Trent Williams.
He's nasty.
Another Chris Samuels. So it's like, if we get Penei Sewell, he carries on that great left tackle that we've had past few years. He's that good. He's another generational talent. If you think that Chase Young is a generational talent, this guy is a generational left tackle. Mm-hmm. Guys like him don't come along. So, but he's going to be a top 5 pick.
Right.
And he can end up on the Dallas Cowboys. He can end up on the Giants. It could happen. But anyways, let's say you solidify that offensive line.
Okay.
Right? And you add another running back that complements Antonio Gibson. Because I am now 100% Antonio Gibson believer. He has learned that position. I was skeptical at first, but he's learned that position. And then let's say you add a wide receiver 2. Let's say you add like a Allen Robinson, right? So Allen Robinson, you have a solid offensive line and another running back. Let's say Marlon Mack from the Colts. He's going to be cheap. There's going to be tons of running backs that are complementary, that are going to be cheap. So if you can run the ball and move the chains, and if this defense, because this defense is a few players from being elite.
Sure.
We're number one in pass defense, and that's with Darby that we were scared to have. That's with Fuller. Can Fuller play on the outside?
What's the safety? Akpe?
Yeah, Akpe.
He's terrible. He's terrible. He's
so
terrible.
if the defense is number one with Akpe, just imagine when we get a legit free safety like Darnell Savage that went to Green Bay in a draft. You know what I'm saying? Or Antoine Winfield Jr. that plays for Tampa Bay. Right? Yeah, Tampa Bay. Right. So
I remember his dad.
Yeah. So it's like if you solidify this defense and you have a running game and you just need Alex Smith to move the chains and just, I mean, you see what Terry's doing. He doesn't have to go deep. You put the ball in his hands. You hit him on a slant. You hit him on a screen. Every game, he's getting you 7 catches for 98 yards. So there is a potential for 10 to 12 wins there. But everything around him has to be perfect.
No, that's the thing.
Perfect. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
And that's the thing.
And he's due $34 million. So I mean, I can understand the logic of no matter what, your ass gonna be here. Right.
Right.
We pay you $34 million.
He can be cut and we save some money after this season. That's a scenario.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a scenario where we can cut him and save some money. Where the cap hit, I'm not sure what the cap hit is, but it's not going to be as much as what it is. I mean, he's going to be making some solid money. Sure, but what I'm saying is, it has to be perfect for him to work. But then people are saying, "Oh, let's draft a quarterback." There's Kyle Trask from Florida. There's Wilson from BYU. There's no guarantee that these guys come in and lead us to a winning record.
Not with Scott Turner there. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, possibly. I'm not saying that it can't be done.
Unique position. It's clearly the most important position.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the most important one, but if you ain't got one, your ceiling is just limited.
Right.
You're only going to get so far. And then you look at on a Sunday, you look at people like Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. They're playing a different sport.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Jared Goff is solid. He's okay.
He's solid.
He's nowhere.
He's a system guy.
He's a total system guy.
But tell me, how many special quarterbacks are there in the NFL?
Well, let's go down the list. We got Mahomes, Rodgers, Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not the biggest fan, but I can't deny he's nice.
Right. That's about it. Breeze is old. Brady's old. They can still get it done, but they're not going to carry you.
They're not killers no more. I agree.
Lamar Jackson, he's trying, but he's not. This season, he's been terrible this season. He was good last season, but that running thing does not work. He's not an accurate passer. So when
we're
you
saying
look
it's 2 elite quarterbacks out of 32?
3. It's 3. We said Russell Wilson, Rodgers.
Oh, right, 3.
Who was just young enough, but not old enough to still continue to get it done, and then Russell, and then Mahomes. Now, there's some up-and-coming guys, like Herbert. He's up-and-coming. Okay. There's some younger guys that I can't even think of right now that are up-and-coming.
What about Josh Allen? You a fan of him?
He's coming. He's coming.
See, I watched him play. I mean, I don't watch a lot of Bills games, but he's got the gun, but his ball is so heavy. Like, it doesn't – there's no float to it. I'm not feeling that.
But this is what, year 1 or year 2? What? No, sorry. This is year 2 or year 3? I'm not sure.
He came in with wins, so this might be 3 or 4.
No, he didn't come out with wins. He came out with Josh Allen and maybe Darnold. So he came out with those guys, I believe. So yeah, so 3. Year 3. So year 3, yeah. So you see what he's doing in year 3, and you're expecting a rookie quarterback to come in and outdo what he's doing in year 3. So I just kind of wanted to put that in perspective, so fans can temper their expectations. Because yes, we get a rookie quarterback with a nice arm. Yes, it's gonna. I mean, with a rookie, you're going to get good and bad. Good as Herbert has looked, they're not winning games.
Well, that's the coach. I mean, we like Anthony Lynn. I love the brother to keep a job, But some of his decisions he makes late games are just terrible.
Yeah.
But
I'll give you that.
It's San Diego or LA or wherever they play, so no one really cares. But.
So when you look at it, there's some quarterbacks that are really good. Like Kyler Murray. He's up. Hey, Kyler Murray, he's up and coming. He's up and coming.
I did not see this. I thought he was going to be a gimmicky 5'5", 5'6" quarterback.
Nah, I saw it. I saw it. But see, the thing is, how many Kyler Murrays are in this draft? From what I'm hearing is I'm only hearing 2. I'm only hearing
The BYU
Fields,
cat.
yeah. Now I'm not even him. Everybody's saying Fields and Lawrence are the like the two favorites, the safest, the most upside. They're
Right, right.
saying that the BYU kid doesn't play anybody, but I'm like, talent is talent, man. The guy,
Yeah.
he got some Mahomes in him. He got some
I'm a
magic.
yeah, because BYU games always come on like 10:30, so I'm gonna check them out one night. One
Yeah,
night.
check him out one night, or even just go on YouTube and just watch a full game highlight, which might be 10 minutes.
Right, right.
That's what I like to do. Just watch a full game highlight, the whole game condensed into 10 minutes, and kind of just see him with different situations, third down, how he looks against the, like the zone, man, play action. Just kind of watch his game. He's a guy that can, roll right, jump off of one leg, and just throw a 40-yard
Let that
dart.
thing go, right?
Yeah. And people look at that and say, oh, the competition. I look at the arm talent and say, arm talent is arm talent.
Mm-hmm.
I always say this, if you are a player that's in a terrible division or you're playing piss poor, garbage competition, you dominate. As long as you're dominating, I have no problems with it. You're
Don't put
doing
up
what
no
you're
whack
supposed
numbers
to do.
if you're playing whack people.
Exactly. Like Antonio Gandy Golden. Everybody said, oh, he played at Liberty. But what did he do? He dominated. If you're dominating in a trash division or in a trash conference, that's what you're supposed to do. Then you can say, okay, this guy is legit. But if you're not dominating, like you look at a guy like DK Metcalf and AJ Brown, they didn't dominate at Mississippi State. I mean, Ole Miss. But guess what? It translates to the NFL because they're playing in the SEC, which is the best conference. So when you put up 500-600 yards, that's equivalent to some major stuff in the NFL. When you are playing in trash divisions and trash leagues, you dominate, and it translates. It doesn't always translate, but that's what I look at. Okay, when you played all this competition, when you played all these guys, did you dominate every single game? Did you check all the boxes? And if you do, I have no problems with it. But I'm very, very high on Zach Wilson.
I'm a definitely. I see his name a lot. I'm definitely going to take a gander at him. All right, let's got a couple more things for you. I know you got a busy night. Your boy got traded, so I know your phone blowing up. They need some premium content and all that. So I just want to touch on real quick the name change. Where do you stand on that? How do you stand on that?
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's been Redskins for me. It's really hard to. If I was in my downstairs setup, the family's down there. I got my Redskins. I got my Laker jersey and I got my Kobe. I'm like, Redskins. It's just gonna be Redskins forever for me. But I am glad that they've kept the colors, because without the colors, I probably won't be doing the podcast. I probably won't. I'll probably be a fan at heart, but I won't talk about it. I won't be excited about it.
You're totally like, you're not with the WFT thing.
I'm not. It sucks. Oh man, the football team played well today, and that's our nickname, football team.
It's corny.
It's on Madden. It's everywhere. It's on CBS Sports. It's everywhere, man. The football team. It's I'm not a Madden player, but like I mean, the logo, everything about it is trash. Only thing that's cool about the jerseys is that the jerseys say Washington. So you can kind of relate to that in this burgundy and gold. Who knows? Maybe the name is the burgundy and gold unicorns. It might be the fish horns. It might be something silly, but I'm like, look, pick a name. Right. The football team, I can't do the football team. I can get used to the unicorns or whatever. I can get used to any name.
Hey, if we got used to the Wizards from the Bullets, I guess
exactly. You know what I'm saying? The Wizards. That's a trash name.
That's a very trash. That might be the trashiest name.
But the good thing for me is that I became a fan of sports in '99. Right. So I came in with the Wizards, so it wasn't weird to me. Okay. I came in with the Redskins, so that's all I've known. So if they're about to change the Wizards name to something else, that'll be a problem for me again. It's like, man, all these changes, man. I might just say, hey, I'm just done with Washington completely, But it's just in my heart, man. It's just deeply engraved in my heart, and it's hard to leave.
No,
it's hard to leave.
I catch myself saying it, Washington Redskins, but then it's like, football team. I don't know. I'm a big soccer fan, so we have teams like they call them the football club.
Yeah,
it's not really like names like the Bears or
the
Giants,
absolutely.
But I can get it. All right, let me get a couple more. Thoughts on Kirk Cousins? Were you a fan or not? And do you like him now or do you don't care?
I was a big fan. And everybody said, how can you? Yes. People said, how can you be a fan? I mean, under Gruden's system, the guy was a god. The guy almost threw for 5,000 yards. Yes, his mistakes and everything. But then you look at it like the defense. I mean, he's another guy that has to be in a perfect system for everything to work. You got to give him receivers. You got to give him tight ends. You got to give him a defense and a running game. He's kind of like a Jared Goff. You put him in the right system, he can win you games.
Right.
He can also lose you games. The difference between him and a guy like Alex Smith is you start losing, it's check down. I call him check down Charlie. He's checking down the whole day. But with Kirk Cousins, he's not afraid to make mistakes. He has a big arm. I enjoyed Kirk here in DC. And when he left, I was pissed because to find a quarterback, come on, man. Brad Johnson. We can go through the list. We know.
Let's go through the list. We got Brad Johnson, Gus
Farad,
Tony Banks,
Ramsey,
Patrick Ramsey,
Jason Campbell.
Todd Collins,
Danny Warfel.
I
mean, so for me, Kirk Cousins was Peyton Manning, but folks will never understand that.
Yeah.
I've been tired of not having a quarterback when we finally get one, and then now you let him go to not have one. Didn't make any sense. So I was a big Kirk guy. Yes, he couldn't win some of the big games, but I mean, what do we have now?
Considering where we came from, it was All right,
Go ahead.
Last thing. Final prediction. Give me 3 bold predictions the rest of the season.
All right. We win the NFC East. With 7 games. 7 games does it all.
So 7-9.
7-9. You win the NFC East. Antonio Gibson, 1,000 yards.
What's he got now?
He has 600 plus. So he needs to average 71 yards a game these last 5 games to get to 1,000 yards. 71 yards. Okay. He's going to do it. He's going to end up, he has 11 touchdowns right now. He's going to get 5 more touchdowns to make it 16.
Ooh.
He's going to have 16 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. I don't know what he's going to do receiving wise.
That's offensive rookie of the year numbers.
Offensive rookie of the year. So we can go ahead and say that I'm predicting that he's the offensive rookie of the year.
Okay. One more.
All right. So playoffs, Gibson. Terry McLaurin ends up with 1,400 yards, over 100 receptions, and makes a Pro Bowl.
That's fair. Defensive rookie of the year, Mr. Adams.
Man, defensive
Mr. Young.
No.
Really?
Defensive rookie of the year is going to be the kid from Carolina. Is a safety by the name of Chin. Somebody brought him up to my attention, and I had to look him up. The guy's been solid all season, and he has a great shot to win it. I don't see Chase winning it just for the fact that the sack numbers are not up. But he does more than sacks. He is creating lanes for everybody. Everybody.
He gets double teamed.
He's getting double teamed, triple teamed. Yeah. So if we're gonna look at the analytics and everything, you give it to Chase. But in terms of the numbers, he probably doesn't get it unless he goes off getting 2 sacks a game. Next 5 weeks ends up with 10 sacks added to what he has now, then he got it. But I don't see him winning defensive rookie of the year. There are other guys that have outperformed him in terms of number, but maybe not impact. But there are guys that have they got some numbers.
That's fair. Awesome. Well, listen, Manny C, bro. Love the feed. Why don't you plug everything you got going on your pods and your Twitters?
Yes, sir. So the Talking Sports with Manny podcast. Follow me on TS with Manny on Twitter and Instagram, and then the Redskins pod is the Back Row Redskins Show. You can find me at Back Row Redskins on Twitter.
Got it, bro. We gotta do this again, man. Let's do it for the wild card weekend.
Okay, most definitely. I'm down.
Because, you said we're going to be there. So I'm taking your word for it because you know your stuff.
Yes, sir. We'll be there, man. Looking forward to it, man.
Awesome, man. You see, have a good night, brother. Thank you so much. Sorry about the John Wall thing, but we definitely going to chat again, brother. Thank you
so much. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man. You have a good one. All right.